Benny asked a question. He said, is Aaron Glenn going to be the one to unlock Jamal Adams? He's taking reps at linebacker, everybody. Like, this is how this is going down.
Coming, yeah.
Like, people were like, no way. He was kidding. No, it turns out, no, he was actually serious.
Our safety room is good. And I think he'll play some spot duty at safety, but yeah, they're bringing him in as a linebacker.
No, dude, like, that's when you hear the whole way that this played out and Aaron Glenn worked him out or whatever. Like, is this not specifically replace or plug somebody in that you feel is the best available option? Doesn't matter where he played before. I like this because he's obviously for a time there one of the best safeties in the league, but I like the experience. I like the pedigree. I like the fact that he's come from that Seahawks organization, that he's got some grit on it. Obviously, what's check number one to get through that door? Right, is that you got to be their type of guy. I believe that he is. I believe this is another one that figure out a way to do whatever it is to help this team, and it's making tackles. But I think he's a plug-in linebacker because that's where we're running thin right now.
Yeah.
So, and he's a veteran, right, Neal? He's a veteran. He can, whatever system or schemes or whatever like that, he can play it, and I think that this is a guy that, more limited than he's not going to be an every down starter, but when he comes in, he can be impactful.
Yeah, expect him
knows
on a
how
lot
to
of
play.
Expect him on a lot of blitz packages, because that's how they're primarily going to use him.
Woodward Sports chat thread, get into there here on Mark M. I thought my free JMO shirt I bought was a one-time wearer, but it's a shirt I have to pull out a couple of times a year. That's actually pretty funny. I do think that one's funny. Mike G, I was told $200 million buys you wins, or I was told $20 million buys you wins in Columbus. I mean, they are going to the playoff. They are. Like, I guess it worked, right? They're in the playoff. People got to get past that, dude. Once the emotion wears off, you got to get past that. But no, I guess my question is, what does realistically, and we don't know the answer to this, so I'm just kind of talking out loud. What does Jamal Adams have left? You know what I'm saying? And there's no way to know. He was on a practice squad. So I dig the experience, like you said, but if he gets locked up with a running back,
I mean, he's
No,
solid coverage skills. I mean, he used to be one of the premier safeties in this league. He used to be at the top of his position at one point.
Okay, but now you're asking a question as if our coaching staff will put him in a position not to succeed.
Correct.
Does that not think that I think me anyways, from the way that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, when they bring guys in, and there's more guys that come in to try out that you never hear about and stuff like this, but they're looking for something specific. And I think it's number one when you're talking about a guy, and how messed up is this? He's 29, and we're talking about he's over the hill or something like this.
Yeah.
But I think that check number one is, does he have the speed to play at the level they need? Because I think he's got the experience and the smarts. So again, don't put him in that position. I like what you're saying, Kenny. On blitzes or running plays and stuff like this. I don't know if you want him out in coverage, even though he is a safety. But again, we won't know until we see it. But I got to think that the due diligence that especially Aaron Glenn has placed on it is that this guy, I can use him. That's all I need Aaron Glenn to say.
Yep.
Hey, Brad, we need this guy for right now. Now, does this mean that he's not going to get cut when everybody gets healthy? I don't know. Make an impact. But I know Jamal Adams knows what he needs to do to make an impact, to stay here, right? Not his first rodeo. This is a perfect opportunity to hear all the right things being said, with the culture that's been developed here. That one of the things, too, Neal, is when you get embraced into it as a new guy, too, there's an extra motivation and an extra gear that you go into. And it's almost like and I would assume with Jamal Adams that it's more or less like this is a career saver, right? Like this could be the career saver. This could be the swan song and stuff like this. How much tread in the tire does he have left? Looking at his stats here, he hasn't played that much in the last few years.
Well, and here's the reason I bring this stuff up in the way that I do, because I know that somebody's going to kind of construe it as hate, and what you're saying, you don't want Jamal Adams, and it's not that at all. I'm just telling everybody, like, because I know how this works, and I'm going to be here for the second half of the watch party at Hey Social, by the way. Yep. So nobody does football better than us. You know that. Post-game show will be live from there as well. I'm just saying, if something happens and he gets cooked, I know how that chat's going to react, right? Yeah. So I just want everybody to kind of put it on wax right now.
Oh, yeah, they not going to do that, Neal.
Well, just put it on wax, the fact that I think that Aaron Glenn's going to, put the guys that in best possible position. The odds are he is going to get waxed at something, but I'd rather have Jamal Adams out there than Kendall Vildor.
Aaron to the stone. Neal, could Adams be looked at as just a leaner, kind of a equally physical version of Rodrigo? Also loves to come downhill and lay the wood as well.
What he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of snaps at Sam. He's going to be close to the line of scrimmage. They're going to send him on blitzes, use him to cover tight ends, running backs in the flat. I think Aaron Glenn's going to get the best out of him.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 100%. And that's the other thing, too. And make no mistake, as we go into this with 18 guys on IR, whatever that crazy-ass number is, as we go into this.
18?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 17, 18,
yeah,
19.
That, yep.
It's in the high teens. 18, yes. Yeah, a third of their team is on IR when you break it all down. So that is that out there.
You know how? Sorry, like this is important. Do you know how, with this position you've put yourself in, with that being the case with what you have coming up, I look at this. We always used to say in the room, you know, if you're gonna get hurt earlier than later, right? So hopefully, and this might be a question for Dr. Pierce too, right? Making sure when you have that many guys, but they're getting the pick now, and they're putting guys in certain positions, and they keep winning, Neal. Like that, do you not understand this? So when that gets right, and you have everybody back, but you've maintained the ship, it's the greatest lesson and example. Trial by fire. You can't give your secondary guys that experience. I always go back to Dan Campbell. I got to prepare like every starter is going to go down. Well, guess what, Dan?
Every starter
has pretty much gone down. So sit back, and I guess my point is just it's another reason why we ain't what we used to be.
Correct.
We ain't what we used to be.
This Packers game and just how large it is, and how the Packers and Vikings keep winning for some reason. There's a lot of pressure on this game on the Lions as a whole. But in particular, D-Mac, and we haven't discussed it a lot. I haven't heard anybody really touch on it. But the bottom line is, don't you kind of get the feeling that this game kind of rides on Jared Goff's shoulders a little bit?
Who?
Say his name and he appears.
Did somebody say Jared Goff?
Well, what do you know?
Stick.
Hi.
But that is weird. It's true. You say Goff's name, you do appear.
It's transcending into basketball too with Jaden Ivey now, as KG knows. But yes, Goff, I am here to talk of the Messiah, the Goffspel, as I call it.
The Goff.
Stick. This game's kind of on him a little bit, though, isn't it?
Every game's on him, and it doesn't matter, Neal. Every game's been on him since he got here. They told him he couldn't do it. They told him he wasn't the chosen one. They told him he was washed. And you know what he's done? You know what I love? They threw him to the wolves, and he came back the leader of the pack, Neal.
Such a great
Dude,
line.
Such an awful, horrible line. No, but I mean, it's always on Goff, isn't it? That's why he's the MVP. As Goff goes, the Lions go.
No, but D-Mac, it's a little extra Thursday, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we got to see what he's working with. But, you know, he's the constant. What do we say before the beginning of the season? Right? We're good as long as our quarterback doesn't go down. Mm-hmm. He hasn't gone down, and we're good, right? No matter what he has to play with. But, yeah, he's got to step up. He's got to take care of the ball. I look at this, you know, more of because you got to remember, right? Revisionist history. We lost to these guys last year at home on Thanksgiving Day. You're looking for each game motivation or whatever like this. This is more to taking it to Jordan Love and not allowing him to win this game on you. I have firm confidence. This might be, the old school NFC North game, the ground and pound. This is ball. We're gonna have to take care of the clock. Hopefully our running backs, and we'll do that. But Jared Goff's gonna be Jared Goff.
Well, it's going to go one of two ways, right? Like either Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell are going to decide, you know what, our defense got a lot of injuries. We got to put in a game plan to outscore these dudes, and Goff is going to go nuts. Or like you said, it's going to be, okay, we got to keep the ball away from these dudes, and it's going to be a ground and pound game. But either way, Jared Goff is the focal point. I mean, those handoffs are crucial if it's a ground and pound game. Getting it right in the midsection, you know how hard that is? You know how hard that is? Not every quarterback can do it.
It's true.
Jared Goff does it at an elite level. Woodward
Sports chat thread, Shane Daniel. I believe in Jared Goff. So that one's going out there right now. Mike G. Stick appears. You say Jared Goff's name, and Stick appears. It's the wildest thing.
And it's a blessing and a curse depending on how you've spoken about Goff.
Absolutely. No, I feel bad because I used it in vain the other day. I was raking leaves, and I just brought up Jared Goff's name, and then boom, there was Stick.
Yeah, next thing you know, I'm bagging leaves with Neal.
Yeah, and then absolutely, and then he disappeared. Right. So, but if you can manipulate it right, it can help you. Yeah, absolutely. Woodward Sports chat thread. Mr. Kev 802, I believe in Jared Goff. Maybe that could be the new chant.
I believe in Jared Goff. Clap, clap. Hey.
That actually would go hard in a stadium.
They should do it.
They should absolutely
Jared Goff. Jared Goff. God, I love those highlight videos that people piece together.